Speak with the enraged man, day 14.
Yeah, I'll stick with this.
Connected.
By their blood, the placenta, and a bunch of these other things that are like in their body. And he specifically says the richest one.
Man, what's good, people? Like, y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in right now. 7. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we come with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. I mean, you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Helps play to grow, helps play to get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content. Tap in with this content. I appreciate you watching me TV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. Might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. But shout out to Joy Liberty. Shout out to Michael. Shout out to Benz. Does it? I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna get some more shout outs going as well. Joy Liberty, I seen your comments. I couldn't respond to the community post, but I got you now. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. But I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all know what it is, man. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
You're check it out, family. That man, Lil Diddy, got a wide mouth. Yeah, probably smell like straight ass. Never know. But y'all let me know what y'all think and feel about this in the comments. So for the grade, shit is crazy.
That's your precious.
What's the fake?
Like a new friends.
Now, what the hell did Wally do to them?
This shit gonna be a normal thing one day. Watch.
The truth comes out. When the truth comes out, you can run, but you know it's ending. At the bottom of the grave, you're digging out. When the truth comes out.
I heard about that shit too.
Was this TikToker and a psychic that accused Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco in the case of David? Yes, this is like alleged. Obviously, this is not my theory. Yeah, they said because Selena Gomez, she needed a new kidney, right? Yeah. So they were like, okay, we need a new one. Was the kidney for Selena? No, that's a crazy theory. And it got so popular that in all of Selena Gomez TikTok posts, it goes R.I.P. Celeste, give her a kidney back or something like that because of the psychic. Yeah.
Didn't Gomez get her kidney from somebody else already?
Yeah, that's true. Like it was 10 years ago. You know, like kidneys can fail, kidneys can go bad, so she needed another one. I don't believe that one personally. Yeah. But what made it worse was Benny Blanco was on Kai Cenat's stream and he brought a bunch of Hello Kitty luggages. You know, Hello Kitty is a code for. Oh really? Yes. And David in his last performance was wearing a Hello Kitty thing. And who loved Hello Kitty? Celeste. Benny Blanco does work with David. Selena Gomez is really close to Benny Blanco. This is a legend. This is not my theory.
There's always something with Selena Gomez.
I know.
It's always something with Selena Gomez, but I thought that Selena Gomez's whole situation stemmed from what Zach TV was covering before, unfortunately, what happened to him. You know, prayers to his family and, you know, that condolences. Again, that ain't something we going down. We ain't going down that rabbit hole. I'm sorry we ain't taking that one, but let me know your thoughts, man. I'm new to this one connected to Daily. What's your thoughts?
So we have quantum locking. The superconductor is locked in space and it stays wherever I put it. This is quantum trapping.
Quantum trapping, that's pretty dope.
It's superconducting, it's frozen with liquid nitrogen.
Upside down.
Right.
And it stays locked.
So the fact, so it's actually floating above the surface.
Yeah, it's not floating, it's locked above the surface.
So you could tilt it at an angle and it would
like this, and it will just go around like this. Get it, go and put it at a different height, and then like this.
Lock it at the height.
Lock it, yeah, different height, different configuration. Right. And I can even lock it the opposite way. You can just hold it, high.
Look at it again,
upside down. It is suspended.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't have any.
Once we seen again, he worked for the people.
I need to watch
This
this
fantastic.
now.
Oh my god. No way.
Time to watch movies.
Silver Wolf 9.
That's
This
why
is
they
the
removed copper from swimming pools, because they realised that copper was so antibacterial that it was completely purifying the water that the people were swimming in without all of the harmful effects of chlorine, which we also know is $1 trillion industry. But also, when the copper was rested in the swimming pools, copper ions were being absorbed into the water, which hold an electrical charge. Therefore, when people were swimming in these pools, their bodies were absorbing this charged water, and we are electrical beings. Therefore, the water that they were swimming in and bathing in was instantaneously healing their bodies. And so if we then think about copper pipes which are being completely erased, it then makes perfect sense, because the elites realised that when water flows through copper pipes, that water then becomes charged water, creating some of the most powerful water in the world, purifying it to a level no other material can match. This is another reason why farmers would place copper in their livestock's water bowls, because they knew that the copper would keep the water completely pure and charge the water.
I wish.
Just a story.
Yeah. That's why we got rid of all the copper pipes.
We're people with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part. All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity, and to get home.
3 people are dead and at least 3 others are sick after a suspected hantavirus outbreak aboard the cruise ship MV Pontius, according to the World Health Organization. The ship is now anchored in Pria, Cape Verde, with 149 people still on board, including 17 Americans. Passengers are not being allowed to disembark, Cape Verde's health minister said. We don't know yet how the suspected outbreak may have happened. Hantavirus is typically spread through contact with rodents in their urine, droppings, and saliva, according to the CDC.
So if you're seeing coverage about this, just remember that there are real people behind it, and that this isn't something happening somewhere far away.
This for entertainment. What I'm saying ain't true. I think this was a planned, isolated experiment. I'm just asking. It ain't true. What's your thoughts?
Tens of thousands of Chinese are going homeless. This is what BlackRock and the United States government have planned for us over here. If they say something against the status quo over there in China, their money is immediately locked up. They can't spend their own motherfucking salary, and they end up homeless. Get ready for it. Yeah, I think it's gonna backfire because you can only control people so long before they start give up. And if enough of us get homeless and get the Miss Mill cramps, where you gonna hide out at, government officials? Where you gonna hide out at, Black Rock Mother? Where you gonna hide out, Pope, Black Pope, Jesuits? Where you gonna hide, huh? Underground, going back to hell? Because we gonna find you, motherfuckers. We'll be right back. Stay ready. That way you ain't gotta get ready. My name is Eddie. We'll be right back.
Man, shout out to Eddie Griffin, bro. He be going crazy.
Oh my god!
They won't let me go.
This lady's crazy.
I want to sit down. Keep going. No, I'm not going to do it still. Can you pull it down? Thank you.
Oh my god! No kidding! Oh my god!
Damn, she tripping, bro.
What
Hopefully that
the
kid's
heck?
cool.
Thank you.
The woman who drove recklessly and attempted to strike a teenager has been arrested. She has been charged with attempted first-degree assault, driving under the influence, and first-degree trespassing. The incident occurred in Spokane County. Wendy A. Clemente, 56, was driving a silver Ford Focus recklessly near S. Fruitvale Road. She drove onto the sidewalk in an attempt to strike a teenager on a bicycle, chased the teenager along the sidewalk, and then drove away from the scene. About 30 minutes later, police received another report from a location location approximately 1.6 kilometers away. A homeowner had seen footage from his security camera showing an unfamiliar woman attempting to turn the doorknob of his home. When police arrived, Clemente was standing in the driveway. She claimed she had taken her dog out to socialize with other dogs, denied attempting to break in, and said she did not remember the earlier incident where she drove with the teenager. Officers noticed her erratic behavior and asked if she had been drinking. She initially denied it, but later admitted to having consumed alcohol. A subsequent blood test revealed that her blood alcohol level was above the legal limit. Clemente was charged with attempted first-degree assault, driving under the influence, and first-degree trespassing. However, following her initial court appearance, a commissioner at the Spokane County Superior Court ordered her released without bail.
Assault? Attempt? So if she had collided with the kid, y'all think that would have just fell to an assault, or y'all think it would have led to something more serious? So why would you just... I don't get the system sometimes, bro.
What? There's a Chinese.
Can't see much up through here.
You fish what?
I hear the brush popping and stuff.
Yeah. I didn't eat my own thing because it's too much circle chocolate.
Oh, there it goes.
It's still down to under the table. It's still down to the table. The hard things. Now I have to the largest.
Okay.
The sweet hearts. Did you freeze again?
Get up here where I see you.
Get
up here. Get better.
What?
Better picture.
How did you find your way to the rim against one of the best defenses in the league?
Yep, it's this one ministry. Why are you looking at the wall?
When they just played the Lakers, did y'all see his eyes change then? Tell me if you did.
Here, check it out, family. 2026, I told y'all the veil is gone. It's Nathan there, Nathaniels. Now we got shit popping off over there in the Asian area. And it look like some shit straight out of Harry Potter. Look at that. And this is not AI, by the way. But y'all let me know what y'all think and feel about this in the comments, because I'm full of grave. Shit is crazy.
Whoa, that's it. What? Please send me a training. Oh, now you playing it? You playing the same game I'm playing. Are you
This is not proof that sirens exist. I don't freaking know what it is. So this lady, mind you, she's in the middle of the ocean. Alright? She sees the dolphin over here. Right? Then, this is a still picture. She zooms in to see this. I'm not looking at that. She zooms in to see... Who the freak is that? What the freak is that? Why the freak is it right there? You're telling me?
Oh, I want to sit down too.
You can see something like that and tell me that sirens don't exist. I know for a fact that's not a boogie, that none of those things that people are going to try to say. Let me just kill all the objections right now. She is not color. I know that they're not out there in the open water with her friend. Like, people will be like, oh, you know, she sent her friend out there, you know, for some clout. No, we don't do that. We don't do that.
Attention, all proud warriors. Have you ever considered joining Time Patrol? As a Time Patroller, you'll prevent history from being changed.
And speaking of that's not AI,
our duty is to protect everyone's memories and help return history to the way it should be.
Okay, watching it back, the voices they sound a little AI.
The only requirements are confidence in your capabilities.
I genuinely don't know.
And of course, a strong desire to protect history.
We don't know what's real, we don't know what's fake. I mean, hey,
we've got a school for honing your skills and a fully equipped item shop.
Well, I can
How about it? Why not use your strength to help out a great cause?
We're
always on the lookout for powerful warriors.
Okay then, Listen carefully.
Humans
To
with
maintain
faces in their
safety
chests
here,
who
in
supposedly
Kazan,
populated Libya and Ethiopia. The Bloomier were mythical humanoid creatures with faces, specifically eyes and mouths, located on their chest or shoulders. The Bloomier weren't described as spirits or monsters in the modern sense. Ancient writers often treated them just as another distant tribe that lived in remote regions far from Roman civilization. Later writers expanded on the idea, describing them as fierce warriors that were isolated from other human populations.
Why is it illegal to talk to the dolphins?
So there's one animal, one mammal that is the most utilized by the military, and that's dolphins. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that the military was using them.
Yeah, they use those as patrols, assassins, and they speak in a hypersonic tone. You know, the universe is built on sound, light, and frequency. And what creatures on the planet will have the most history about this planet? Those live in the water. Dolphins live to 100, whales to 300. And you ever heard about ladies-headed water birds? In ancient African times, they used to do this around dolphins because the dolphins are able to communicate with us. And there's a lost batch of history on this planet. We're a species with amnesia. If you communicate with them, you get the answers.
Right. Just like there's this clip where the dolphin knows that the dolphin will take the lady because she knew she was pregnant.
Absolutely. Dolphins kill great white sharks. Dolphins for fun. Nobody knows where dolphins came from, though. Because 90% of the species that exist ever existed on this planet are dead. Dolphins have been around since pre-Cretaceous time. Unchanged.
So you can get answers from a dolphin. Who really has your best interest or doesn't have your best interest if they making laws against that type of shit? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I'm trying to. I'm just asking a question here. If they making laws, who's passing those laws? Who's bringing those laws up? Who's speaking of those laws? I'm gonna just leave it there. What's your thoughts, man? This off entertainment. What I said ain't true. It's just my opinion. It's just some shit that I was just asking to keep y'all engaged.
Is it me or was Michael Jackson actually in the movie? Go back and watch that movie. Something strange happened. Not every scene, but some of the scenes when the camera ended on Jafar. For a split second, I saw Michael Jackson. Like they switched it or something. I can't even explain it. Some of the scenes, it's just when you cut right before it cuts the scene to go to the next scene, it's Michael. Like you know Jafar, you know he pretended to be his uncle. But is that me?
Yeah.
Did y'all notice that? Or am I might be tripping.
No.
I don't know. But go back and watch it. Right before some scenes end, it like switched to Michael. I don't know how to explain it.
It's somewhere around. I took you somewhere else. I think we should go back to what are you going to say to you? And I land for you.
Ain't he getting the medicinal herbs from the tree? I've heard about it. I ain't never seen it.
I think we should go back.
If I'm not mistaken.
Did you know after about 10,000 years of human history, we decided to start counting to make it easier on one guy who was trying to calculate for Easter? Technically, technically around the year 12,026, not 2026. And there's also giant gaps in miscounts of time throughout the last 2026 years. There's been multiple times where we just start things or push things ahead with the great theories and hypothesis behind these. The entire world under my control. Because like in Ethiopia, still 2018, patroller or whatever. Actually in the year 2026. And serve as my billions of years. Like if you think about it, we have no idea what people did these years during their current time. We have placeholders for these years, like AD, BC, whatever. But we don't know what these people called it during those times, like the Dark Ages. The Great Dark Ages from 1100 to 800 BC just sort of stopped. Like physical record of what was going on stops. There's a whole plethora of things going on there. I'm going to make a separate video about it actually. This is what I learned tonight. The end.
This Utah wife, she created this book so that her kids and other people who have dealt with death recently could get over with, like talk about the grief and everything.
Yeah.
Turns out this woman poisoned her husband she wrote the book about.
What? So she lived and profited
Off of his death. Yes. So she killed him in March of 2022. Like I said, this happened in Utah. She was trying to poison him for a while, even before this. She ended up killing him with like soup or something like that he was eating, or a drink that he was drinking. Put out like huge life insurance on this guy. Ended up getting all the money from the life insurance after she poisoned him. Cause she was secretly having an affair at the same time with another dude.
What?
So she poisoned him, got with this new guy, got all the life insurance, made this children's book, made more money off the children's book.
Are you kidding me?
2 months after she released the book, that's when they found out.
I was just gonna ask, how did they find out?
So they found out because the person she was buying the off of ended up coming out of decision, and they released all the messages that she had with this person. That this girl was pretty much saying like, "I need the Michael Jackson stuff."
Are you
Michael Jackson died from.
Okay, what is it?
That the doctors gave him. Yeah. She literally texted this person, "I need that Michael Jackson stuff." Then she comes out with the book talking about grief.
Ain't that a bitch?
Bro. So she ended up getting 25 years to life. They got her for killing him and for life insurance stuff. They said he had 5 times the lethal amount.
Oh my gosh, so they really did give him that Michael Jackson stuff.
She hella.
Why are any of us getting married?
And you read a children's book about?
You know what I mean? Like, what is up?
I'm sorry. 5 things that we used to be able to do in this timeline, and we can't do it no more. State building, built May 1st, 1931. This is a 102-story building that was built in 401 days. 3,500 workers. They were building 3 to 4 floors a day on average. Empire State Building is a staple in New York City skyline, and we cannot build like that anymore. I'm sorry. 401 days, 102 stories, we cannot do that today. By the way, it was also built to dock airships. In 1931, September, an airship actually docked at Empire State Building for 3 minutes. That's something also we don't do that. The moon. Apollo 17, 1972 was the moon. Apollo 17, 1972 was the last time we put a man on the moon. Apparently we can't do that no more. Apparently we lost the technology to put men on the moon. We had Apollo 11, we had Apollo 12, we had Apollo 13, we had Apollo 14, we had Apollo 15, and we had Apollo 17. And that was it. Some people say the cost, some people say political views, but as of right now, we do not have the technology or the will to put men on the moon. But hopefully we will. Number 2, Greek fire. The Byzantine Empire in the 7th century had this liquid fire that could not be put out by water, and they used it in their naval ships. This was highly flammable and even burned in water. But we cannot reproduce it. For some reason, the recipe is lost. We can come close to things like that, but we can't reproduce the firepower of the Greek fire. Coral Castle in Florida, built by Edward Lanskin. This man built this whole coral castle over a heartbreak of his lover. 1923 to 1951, he built an 1,100-ton castle. He did this at night with no help and no machinery, and he said he mastered leverage. This in 1936, due to property zoning, he had to move the Coral Castle 10 miles, and he did by himself at night. We can't do that. Damascus steel, 300 BC, renowned for its durability and its sharpness. It could cut through metal. Originally made in Sri Lanka with the roots steel method, highly sought after for its durability and its sharpness. Something that we cannot produce today. We can come close. The sharpness and the durability of the Damascus steel is not made today. We can't make it.
Listen, it doesn't matter if they get off that boat or not. Okay, 10 days into this trip, a 70-year-old Dutchman passed away. 2 weeks later, they removed his body and then his wife, right? She went to a South African airport so she could fly home. She came in contact with several people on her way. Then she collapsed. Shortly after that, she passed away, right? She was confirmed to have a variant of this hantavirus, but which variant, of course, we don't know, right? But let's address this strain that's on the boat with them, because it's most likely all signs point to the Andy strain, right, of hantavirus, which can pass from human to human. Now, normally hantavirus, am I saying that right? Anyways, it comes from rats or mice droppings or saliva or shit like that, okay? But guess what? There aren't any rats on this cruise ship, right? These are rich folk, y'all. They are not kicking it with Stuart Little type shit. This rare strain with a 40% mortality rate end up on a boat with over 150 rich folks on it. I think somebody brought it on the boat. I can't prove it, okay? But number one, they boarded the boat in a region the strand originates from. 2, there are no rats on the boat. They searched. Number 3, it is spreading from human to human. That is clear, right? Because the wife got sick and died right after the husband did. So they both play with rats? Hell no. Listen, the World Health Organization is advising maximum social distancing for passengers, and they are literally confined to their rooms. My biggest question in all of this, though, is why the hell aren't we hearing from any of them? They don't have Wi-Fi on that boat?
You know, if you ask me, this woman deserves her own season. There is so much we can talk about with her character, so many storylines we can explore. But I guess we're going to go back to the Coven once again. Angela Bassett is going to be returning as the Voodoo Queen herself. We don't have too much information about it right now, but we do know that she's getting her own standalone episode, and it's going to be exploring her character's origin. We're going to learn more about how she got her powers, her relationship with the other characters, and we're going to be seeing the darker side of New Orleans witchcraft scene. I really feel like Marie Laveau is an extremely popular fan favorite character. I know she is for me, and I'm excited to learn more about her and her origin. The character Marie Laveau is based off a real life woman, so I'm wondering how accurate it's going to be to the true story. Sometimes American Horror Story is super accurate when it comes to things that were inspired by real life situations, and sometimes they kind of do their own thing with it. So I have a feeling this is going to land somewhere in the middle. But regardless, I'm really excited for October. I'm really excited to see American Horror Story Season 13. I'm a huge fan. Also, hi, I'm Grace. Can I be your horror girly?
People stranded on the boat because 3 people died from a rat virus outbreak that only transmitted from their shit. You imagine what a worst nightmare. So this cruise over here was moving by the side from South America is going to land right here. Now they stranded. Obviously, because people are like, whoa, hold on, wait a second. Y'all dying? People get sent to the upper room?
Howdy.
That means this whole shit can be an outbreak. We need some health inspectors. But there's people that's on there right now, like, yo, come help. But it's like, wait, I'm trying to help her. Wait, Jake from Boston here, that is not a man's name. I'm sure to be joking, because he's stranded on this boat right now. He was super excited. And then things took a very vociferous turn, because obviously that air in there was stuffy, or they wasn't cleaning something, because antivirus, no idea that existed until today, broke out on this shit, and I ain't gonna lie. Looks like they need a couple updates. And so now, Jake panics, this is my life, but it's like, this is our life, man. It's like something is going on your boat, unfortunately.
Currently on board and be conscious. And what's happening right now is very real for all of us here. We're not just a story.
We're not just a story.
Headlines.
Hey, I'll be scared as too, my boy, but at the same time, I just have to, you know, from the outside looking in, it's like, hey, man, I want you to be safe at the same time. We gotta be very careful about this, because first off, this little rat virus that they let break out on this shit, that's not even supposed to be happening. It's very rare. 3 y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, we're gonna send help, and I'm praying for you, Jake, but like, we gotta take the right safety measures, because we can't have no rat virus taking over this world. That seems apocalyptic. And honestly, hopefully all y'all can look into a nice lawsuit. I don't know how all that shit works, but like, people dying from a rat virus, that's your problem, like. Niggas better clean up. What's going on? I'm gonna need that. Amps.
For entertainment again, what I'm saying true. I just find it really funny and ironic that it happened off land with some shit like that. So that made me question, was it planned? Was it isolated on purpose? And was this an experiment? Again, what I said wasn't true. Let me know y'all thoughts.
I thought paying a subscription to use your car's very own GPS and alarm system was bad. That was just a warm-up. That was just a setup. Now they got monthly subscriptions for your apartment key fob. Yeah, you heard me right. What? You're already paying rent. You're already paying utilities. Now you gotta pay to unlock your door.
About a year or 2 years ago, we all get an email from our apartment complex that they are doing away with the fob system, and instead we are going to be on a phone app lock system. So fobs are going away. They're going to change out all the locks on every single door, and we're all going to be using this phone app moving forward. And they instituted this across, there's like over 200 apartments in my complex. It's a pretty big complex. Also come to realize, right around the time that they put in this new lock system, they also started a new fee attached to our rent, which is called the Technology Connect fee. And the way they originally talked about it was, we're going to start offering internet as well, so that you don't have to go with any third-party internet providers, but that's totally optional if you want to opt in. A lot of us don't opt in, we use some of the more reliable providers that are around. But that technology fee still exists for everybody every single month. Because that technology fee pays for the app. The app to unlock the door. That technology fee is $85 a month. We all pay a subscription of $85 a month to unlock doors. $85 a month, almost $100 a month, not to live here, not for your rent, just to get in the door. Because the apartment complex, without a vote from its residents, without anything, the property managers decided this is what we're doing now, and we're going to charge you for it. Hey, so everyone has lost apartment hunting, housing market, renting, whatever it is, you've absolutely lost your mind. So as I sit here, apartment hunting, here in Los Angeles, would you believe that I came across this place, $2,700 a month, okay, 1 bedroom, no utilities included, you have to pay for your parking, bare bones, 3 times the rent, $650 minimum credit, okay? I scroll down to the bottom, and I see that in order for you to access your unit that you're paying $2,500 for, okay, you must subscribe to a monthly membership to use your key fob. If you don't, you will not be able to access your unit that you pay $2,500 for. What are we doing?
This is crazy. I mean, they told us that we're nothing and be happy, and this is exactly what's going on. The fact of the matter is, why are people doing that? Why is everybody agreeing to this? Why is this? I know I can't say much, bro, but this is crazy. This is ridiculous. Something's gotta get. How do you guys feel about this, man? And what do you guys think should be done about it? This is crazy, man. Let me know down in the comments below, man. I'll be telling y'all we're in the ship. The ship is here. Let's continue.
This is so freaking scary, bro. This is moments before he died. Okay? So sad. That man's name is Richard Garland. I spoke about him in this video before that part one if you want to watch it. Essentially, this man was out in Foster Falls, Tennessee, in a river on vacation with 2 of his best friends. All of a sudden, something pulls him under, and his friends are frantically trying to get him up, but nothing, like no power that they put even together is able to get him from whatever is under there. There was nothing around, no eye, there's nothing. They couldn't see anything. All they knew is that something did not want to let him go. And his father literally said he was an avid swimmer, so that just does not add up. In the last video, you guys were pretty upset about how you said I clickbaited you. That was not my video that I stitched like earlier. I did not write that caption, and that is the GoPro footage. Like, basically, the rest of it is just him ziplining and him swimming around. But this GoPro footage was found by a man named Nick Aloha. He's a YouTuber that goes into lakes and oceans and picks up things that he sees on the bed, like the bed of the ocean or the bed of the lake. And he found this GoPro 2 years later and was like, oh my gosh, this is the dude that died in this. Now, there are some people saying out there that there is footage of him struggling and then you see like a voice of him drinking water. I have not found that footage and I have looked everywhere. So if you guys did feel clickbaited, I'm so sorry, like I don't do that. And a lot of you guys also were like, girl, listen to these friends. Like friends clearly did this. And other people were saying that silence. Now you guys know I'm only ocean water to freshwater though, because if y'all don't know, there's a mega ocean connecting all the water on this earth, and I genuinely feel like there are many water exchanges where they can specifically said that I don't know what it is, A, and B, that I don't know if it's a friend. Like I'm not, you guys gotta understand, when me personally, I feel like it's very important to realize that when you cover things on the internet, these are real people's lives. And I'm assuming your friends are still alive. This human is still alive. I'm not going to, for views and money, come on here and make the biggest spectacle possible of choosing his friends and highlighting him. Yo, he was sitting on suffering. I'm not going to do that. I'll say my speculations and how weird it is, but this isn't a joke. I'm going to stick to the facts that I know. So, I mean, that's just something. Overall, this is one of the most mind-boggling cases I've ever covered. I genuinely don't know. And I wish to go through the show and really get you guys to keep digging. As always, make sure you follow and comment down below what you think happened.
You haven't got there? Okay. So you check on your weekend.
Team is that, you know, the person says this
all of the enemies are getting ready.
First of all, we have walking around with the king. And then next, you have probably the craziest outfit of the whole show. It's Heidi Klum. She looks almost unrecognizable, and I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to represent. Next, we have Harry. Some other honorable mentions are Cardi B. A lot of other people wearing some outfits, I have no idea who they are. Kardashian also in attendance with Kim Kardashian, and then you have Kris Jenner. Again I have no idea what the theme is supposed to be, but I have a hard time thinking that a lot of these people are wearing
it's the moon whipping around the earth, and its gravitation is cooling. It's cooling the water with it. So as it's moving around, it's cooling the water, and as it moves away, the water comes down. Which, if you really think about it, how is it possible that the moon's gravitational force is only affecting bodies of water and not the boats, not the people walking around? If it was really the moon's gravitational force across time, then every time the moon breaks around, people would just go flying into space. But that's not what happens. And on top of that, there are plenty of bodies of water on Earth that actually don't have any tides. The Black Sea has no tides. The Caspian Sea has a very small neighborhood tides. And the Mediterranean Sea does same thing. And this is because they're basically connected. They're not very directly connected to the outer oceans. The outer oceans have massive tides, which is why the Bay of Fundy, which is salt and green area, has the largest tides in the entire world. And this is why the Bering Sea, which is salt and the outer oceans, also has extremely rough, intense waters with massive tides. Now, why am I zooming into the North Pole? Well, on old maps, the North Pole is not just a body of water and ice, but that vortexes blood in, oxygenates it, and then vortexes blood out. And if you think of the Earth as a giant electromagnetic torus field, or a vortex, you could hypothesize that after the forward, that is essentially the arc of the Earth pumping the water out, and then pulling it back in. And that could be what is causing the sea, the Bering Sea, to be so impossibly dangerous when you are crabbing in dead waste catch. But I made this video for entertainment purposes only.
Can't read, so he doesn't know what to do.
Let's talk about the world fairs. Why we never talked about them? Why did Lake Chicago look like ancient Greece?
You saw me
Are we
just
really
get
supposed
up.
to believe
Don't
those
even
clearly
look at
stone
that,
buildings were all made from paper mache and potato bags? These expos are going on worldwide, supposedly creating hundreds of temporary buildings year after year with just horse and buggy. They tell us these enormous structures were built in, give or take, 2 years, only to be ended with barbaric desecration 6 months later. But let's take a closer look. Their narrative is immediately contradicted per usual, as we see multiple buildings from these fairs still remaining today. How would anyone in their right mind believe this is temporary? And then take a look at Buffalo, New York, 1901. Where's the blueprints? Who supplied all the materials? What equipment was used to lift these massive granite statues? How are their entire canals and bridges being held by plaster? Something easily broken down by weight and water. And then we have some expos in the middle of nowhere, like St. Louis. No airports, nothing. Still didn't stop 20 million people from visiting. Are we to think millions travel the sea on boats? Not to mention the planning, the preparation, materials required to accommodate 20 million in sanitation, and so on. And then we have the exposition in Paris. Does this look temporary to you? Many of these buildings already indicate signs of aging. You can really see the weathering on it. Does that look 6 months old, let alone a few years? No, these are homes. These fairs have multiple segmented areas to showcase fine arts, science, the latest inventions, including human zoos and incubator babies. We even have an introduction to plus meat foods like hot dogs and hamburgers, including a cultural rise in beer. Maybe they're testing the fluoride. To me, these fairs are basically worldwide indoctrination points to our modern thinking, conducted by the powers that be to hide already previously established cities of an earlier civilization as mere temporary attractions. And to anyone thinking these are temporary, look at some more photos of these expos. Oh wait, the bottom is St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican, more than 400 years old. Nothing about the official story regarding these worldwide expos adds up. And the only logical explanation is that what you're looking at is pre-existing architecture of the old world, repurposed to fit a new narrative, brainwashing the millions just like they do in the media today. The buildings were built, but when? They were anything but temporary and destroyed for a reason.
As soon as you are born, you have a name, a religion, a nationality, and a race. You spend the rest of your life defending a fictional identity. You see, back in ancient times, you got to have this human experience of all these things in our minds and these identities that we think is us. But it's not really you because it was forced on you when you were a kid and then you grew up believing these things. You people have to understand that everything here, all of the millions and nationalities and religions, everything that we want us to believe was given to us by non-human entities so we can continue living in a fictional reality. Because if we don't know who we truly are and we believe all this fiction, then it's easier to control us. Once you people start understanding this, like on a deeper level, everything is going to make sense when you look around and you look at the world. You have to wake up.
This former fashion executive said the strangest thing to these women that confirms everything we've talked about with the elites doing stuff with women and children. So it was this guy named Peter Nygaard, and he started this company in 1967 called Nygaard International. This guy becomes this huge millionaire doing all this stuff for clothes, and eventually, as the time goes on, he starts having a lot of weird allegations, bunch of weird stuff. And dude, I found the craziest video of this guy talking to this woman. I don't know what this is for. It looks like a power company. He's talking to her table, and he's basically telling her how he wants to buy the placenta and a bunch of these other things in their body. And he specifically says the richest one is the black one. I'm dead ass. He's talking about some so weird. I have to just show you the video, and I'll just let it speak for itself.
been broken since they saw. Right?
Entire world bound to me. Listen, I only have one more loaf left in me. He is to count, so you have to hold him still.
Got it.
And you, I don't know who you are, but defend me with your life until I'm ready.
Yeah, this is weird.
What the?
Y'all remember when we went over that? That was a minute ago.
Okay, you guys remember how I showed you the maps that were here on Earth before 1958, before the governments took them out? Now I'm going to show you the encyclopedia in the public libraries before 1958. Here's volume 2 out of the alphabet A. We're going to flip to the Antarctica.
What are you doing?
This is from 1958, as you can see. Now, we're going to flip to the Antarctica and see what the encyclopedia from 1958 before the Antarctica says is there. Now, you won't find this in the new encyclopedias because the government's banned it. But what I want you to notice right here is, notice how it says, the flights proved inland areas to be featureless in character with a dome 13,000 feet high at about latitude 80 degrees south, longitude.
What was that?
90 degrees east.
Where did...
Take a really, really close look at that. Now I'm going to zoom it in for you. When they returned to New Zealand, these flights proved the inland areas to be features of the character with a dome 13,000 feet high at about latitude 80 degrees south, longitude 90 degrees east. Now, if this doesn't make sense to you, let me show you with an image of what a flat Earth map would look like. Now, this is what a latitude 80 degrees south would look like on a flat Earth map. As you can see, the dome comes down closer to you over the wall, which would be about 13,000 feet. Now, if you're not familiar with any of this at all,
your job
you're just
is
now
helping
new
to
to
correct
all
any
this,
inconsistencies
you can say,
like
well, this
this
guy's
that
crazy,
crop
he
up
doesn't
in
know
the
what he's talking about. But what you got to ask yourself is, why do all the maps before
later on in history get
1958
intense.
show a flat Earth with the
So
ice wall
continue
around
with
it
your training,
and a firmament,
because
a
only
dome?
the strong
And why
can
does the
correct
encyclopedia
history.
tell you that there's a
But
dome
since
there?
you're
It gives you
training
the
under the
exact height
greatest
at a
sky
certain
in the
latitude and
universe,
longitude.
there shouldn't be
Well,
much
the
to
reason
worry
is
about.
because in 1958, that's when all
As long as you
governments
listen to my
and all
advice,
nations
you'll
of
come
the
into
world
your own
signed the UN
eventually.
treaty to ban all civilians from going to the Antarctica.
Yeah, we get it.
And NASA came
really
in and
do
erased
ramble over
everything,
there.
just like they're erasing everything today. So again, ask yourself, if all this existed before 1958,
Listen
why
here,
doesn't it
supreme
exist now? How come it all of a sudden was erased and just disappeared out of your history
That's
books,
the
out of your
question.
encyclopedias, out of your libraries?
I'm only about
Wake
a
up,
millennium
people.
older than
Wake
you. That
up.
hardly makes me an old
Thanks for
man.
watching and God
What
bless.
are you saying? Anyone who
So
laid
you
eyes
think
on
that
you
we
would
still in a
easily
globe
call
and
you
that
an
there's
old
no dome
man.
above us, so is
Don't
the
even
Bible
try
right?
to compare yourself to an
That's
adorable
not
girl
what
like
you said.
me.
And is the encyclopedia lying?
You
And if
call
NASA tells
yourself
the truth, that's
adorable?
peace.
How do you find a hat with a head that big?
I'm just questioning.
Ah, that's all from us for the moment. We'll tell you more about the world later on.
Of course, this building, construction started in the 1700s. And there are all sorts of little hidden passageways. You saw I just pulled
Okay
this
then.
cover up.
You've got to be bored half to death after listening to his speeches. Am I right?
But you can see. Closed off. We're just off of what's called Statuary Hall, which at one time was the actual House chamber. So, and it's outside there. But this is just an example of some of the little hidden secrets in the Capitol. And so one of the things when we bring tour groups, and if it's a small enough group, it's bigger than Canada, but it's a small group, we'll actually take them down this hall. Believe it or not, my big self have actually gotten down and more importantly out of this hole. I'm not going to debut that again for today, but suffice to say I've been able to live and tell about it, get out of it. But it goes all the way down to the old staircase, and I'm told, I can't verify this, I'm told that this staircase, which opens to, if you go down and formally open to the outside, was one of the staircases that British soldiers used when they breached the Capitol during the war. I think it was 1814 when they actually attacked Washington.
And y'all, something is definitely getting ready to happen because Alex Jones, Mr. InfoWars, Mr. Conspiracy, has shut down his show after 27 years. There's no coincidence, y'all, right? All these UFO expert people, unaliving themselves or being found missing, you know what I'm saying?
Wait,
and now him
you can't just jump ahead like that.
After this whole David Wilcock incident, right? What is going on? Something is getting ready to happen. The economy is messed up, everything is expensive, food is expensive, gas is through the roof, people's nervous systems are completely fried, people are just fed up. This thing is getting ready to happen. It's like they have to play on our emotions, right, to make us feel some type of way, and then they bring a solution, right? And then we all know something is supposed to take place with Project, you know what I'm talking about. And then all these UFO people are suddenly going away. What happened to those UAP sightings? What happened to those drone sightings all over the world? I'm so confused. Have we been gaslit this whole time? What happened with the planes falling out of the skies? What? Bro, have we literally been gaslit this whole time? Or are we in some type of game, bro? Like, what's going on? Can anybody explain? 2 words, 1 finger? What is that about? What? Y'all, this is not fear-mongering, but something's in the air. I can feel it. Let me know what you guys think about this video. I've been saying for a very long time, the shit is here. We're literally in the midst of it, y'all. Let's continue to get it. Peace out.
It goes to Jesus Christ, our Heavenly Father, the leads, guides, and direct us. We are commit ourselves to God in this holy fight, and we are committed, and if God stands with us, who can stand against us? And that's how I close out. So I salute you all. What a crew. The hell we've been through has only made us stronger. Let me ask you, would you have any other way? Are you not stronger now in this fight? I salute this crew and all the viewers and listeners to this fight, and I commit myself to Jesus Christ's hands. God bless the InfoWar! You are the InfoWar and live forever. We're going to play Frank Sinatra Blue Eyes and come back with the great Tom Rams and then JR to close this out. God bless you all. That's it. The next phase starts.
Us and putting certain materials in all of our food and water. I think I know what it is. I'm going to show you this clip, and then I'm going to show you what I think it relates to, and just for the record, I would never hurt myself, and I don't do anything dangerous.
But does anybody else wonder why they keep finding hella metal in our food? What I told her is how much metal you have in your body will affect you when this thing happens. It has to do with frequency. Okay, so I stay safe and I can come back, and I stay alive. I'll tell you something. I will give you a hint of what he showed me. It's going to happen, and you have to get rid of these metals in your body. And I know exactly how to do it very easily. If you want to do it fast and quick, it would be green drinks. Anything green, and a whole fiber thing all that. What I'm saying is there's something with chlorophyll that has to do with it matches. It's very close to your blood in its structure. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so you have to have a carrier that will grab the things and take them out of your body, okay? That's why I wanted to speak to you about this. So, if you want to know what's going to happen, and it could happen tomorrow, it could happen, but they're going to say it's something else. You're going to have to do your own thinking about this. I don't want to get in trouble. But just stick a piece of foil in a microwave, and picture that in your body. And now you know the devil's plan.
Matthew 24, Jesus says that the second coming will be like lightning that comes from the east and shines as far as the west. So it's coming from the sun. So will be the coming of the Son of Man. So the sun also creates coronal mass ejections, which are essentially just northern lights or solar flares. You guys know how they keep saying that there's going to be a solar flare that puts the grid down. If you have strong discernment and you know the Bible, I would encourage you to start looking at these topics in the news because they make it, in my opinion, super obvious. What makes a coronal mass ejection? people. God is a consuming fire. We're supposed to be living sacrifices, right? I've been talking to you guys. I have found like a million reasons that in my mind completely prove that the rapture event or the second coming will be a Northern Lights global event. And I think that that will also roll back the scroll of the firmament, just like Isaiah and Revelation say. And I think they're calling it a cannibal CME because when you had to make offerings to God, he would come down and eat them via fire from the sky. So lightning from east to west, right? It's pretty standard for the auroras to create light arcs from east to west in polar regions. So I don't think that it's that far off to think that this could just be a global version. And I have antique science books that say that the northern lights are made of the exact same material as lightning. It's just a version that seeps down from the firmament rather than a concentrated strike like lightning would be. And Jesus says it would be like the days of Noah. And Noah is the agency that watches the northern lights like a hawk. They're obsessed with the auroras. Why would they name it Noah? My antique science books say that the auroras used to be classified as a type of cloud also. In Genesis 9, God said, "This is the sign of the covenant that I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for all future generations. I have set my bow in the cloud, rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. When I bring clouds over the earth and the bow is in the clouds, I will remember my covenant that is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh." So the reason that they're spraying and trying to stuff us all with the materials is because when this happens, it's either going to upgrade your DNA, and they're saying this openly, that's why I'm encouraging you guys to do your own research on it, or if you're full of parasites and
you want to know what it means to be a part of the time patrol? Well,
so it's my belief that when we walk in unrepentant sin, we give legal grounds in the spiritual realm for parasites, and therefore no, because they're a combined package, to live and enter our system. When we repent, they're taken. That's my personal belief. So what I think is going to happen, and this is not thus saith the Lord, this is, I think this, people that are full of unrepentant sin and like just walking in lawlessness, there's DNA strands, and remember, your entire body is made up of DNA, are just going to snap. There will be people who are like upgraded, and that's like the rapture event, and then there's going to be people that are struck with leprosy or some form of like rapid. And I think that's people that are like kind of repentant, like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If you go back through the Old Testament as well as the Ethiopian Bible, it seems to point to lawlessness being the mark of the beast. I talked a lot about this in past videos, but King Messiah had a censer in his hand, and when he got angry with the priests for correcting him, he broke out in leprosy on his forehead. And when you look into what they're saying about this, they also believe what I'm saying. I'm just giving you what I think is like the biblical version of this. Some people will get struck with disease. Some people will have their DNA upgraded, which I think is like the rapture, just my opinion. And some people's DNA will break in a way where they themselves just break. And that's why the grid will go down, because the internet and AI, we're the batteries, guys. That's what the data centers are for. We power all of that stuff. So they need us. If a bunch of people, either their DNA snaps and then like others leave entirely, that's obviously going to put the grid down because it's leeching on our life force. I also found it really interesting that in that video, that guy said it could happen right now, it could happen in a few days, no one knows the day or hour, it's going to come out of nowhere. I've been completely obsessed with the auroras for years now, and I can tell you with certainty, they have not tracked them this closely ever up until the last 6 months. I don't know what's making them think that they need to track it this closely, but they're watching for it. And I know we all have been watching for it too, because Spirit is tapping on our shoulders. I always recommend doing a parasite heavy metal cleanse. I have the link in my bio for what I use. But also, if you don't plan on like repenting and walking with Jesus, there's not really a point, because it's just going to come back worse. So this isn't about asceticism. This is about preparing for what's coming. and the coming deception, because they're obviously going to say that it's a solar flare or whatever nonsense they make up.
You made it in
It's
one
deception
piece.
coming.
I'm a happy
Ever drawn this
customer.
symbol?
Your
Do
scout
you remember
can be
the
used
first
to
time
zero
you
in
saw
on
this
friends.
symbol? Do
Make
you
it
think this is
accurate.
encoded in our reality, or do you think this is just something that we're mimicking from each other? This is called the Super S symbol. Why does everybody know this symbol right here, but nobody knows where it came from?
Remember, when you're down and out, assist to provide
This
your
is a
friends
symbol
with
embedded
backup.
in our subconscious that is a flip from outside the simulation. We are at the ancient artificial intelligence or ancient AI part of the map. You want to follow along on our map journey, the link is in the bio. You probably drew this in school or saw a classmate draw this, but everybody says the same thing. They don't really remember where it came from. There's no confirmed creator, brand origin, or company behind it. So how do we all know this symbol? People claim that this symbol, this Super S, is actually the logo we see right before we enter the simulation. Bold statement, I know, but there are three things. It's familiar, it's symmetrical, and it feels intentional. Also, everybody can instinctly draw this symbol. Even if you never drew this before, you can put pen to paper right now and probably draw it from memory. It's internationally known. It is a watermark from outside the system. Psychologists claim we may be just mimicking each other, but guess what? This happened before the internet. There were no memes. There was no social media. But we all instinctively know this symbol. Is this coded in our brain, or is it coded in our reality? Did you see it? When did you see it? And do you believe that it is outside of our reality, outside of simulation, or this is just something that we're learning from each other? Let me know.
All my homies used to draw that shit all over the desk. You know that. I'm gonna disrespect myself. I'm from the northern part of the state of California. I see that all over the desk. Inside the move that off the jerseys because it was gangbanging. So that symbol was always around our city because of that. I seen some brands out there that y'all said it was. I seen country say out there with this logo. This one was everywhere. Don't be insulted when somebody's gonna agree.
Wait, no, I'm sensing something else. Your scouter can reveal hidden enemies. Why not give it a whirl?
Come on, guys, you're crazy if you think Friends stories are those things not like our history books are written like, oh, wait. Oh, Robert Maxwell actually bought out McGrawville textbooks, and those are the books we learned from? I'm sure they're not lying.
The original diary manuscript was forensically examined by the German State Forensic Bureau, the Bundeskriminalamt. Their analysis determined that significant portions of the work were written with a ballpoint pen. Since ballpoint pens were not available to everyone before 1951, portions of the work were added well after the war. Handwriting experts determined after closer examination of the originals that all of the writing in the diary was by the same hand, and the BPA determined that none of the diary handwriting matched known examples of Anne's real handwriting. The true author of the diary was Jewish novelist who married and was awarded $50,000 in Anne's father, Victor Frank. The truth about Anne Frank's diary was first exposed in 1959 by the Swedish It established that the Jewish novelist Meyer Levine had written the dialogue of the diary and was demanding payment for his work in a court action against Otto Frank. An extract from the Swedish articles appeared in the American Economic Council letter, April 15, 1959, as follows. History has many examples of myths that live a longer and richer life than truth, and may become more effective than truth. The Western world has for some years been made aware of a Jewish girl through the medium of what purports to be her personally written story. Any informed literary inspection of this book would have shown it to have been impossible as the work of a teenager. A notebook decision of the New York State Supreme Court confirms this point of view, in that the well-known American Jewish writer Mamie Levy has been awarded $50,000 to be paid by the father of Anne Frank as an honorarium for Levy's work on the Anne Frank diet. Evidence of Dr. Robert Farrison of France establishes that the famous diary is a literary hoax. After doing substantial research, Professor Farrison stated, "The truth obliges me to say that the diary of Anne Frank is only a simple literary thought."
It was just announced that the government decided to wait 10 days before evacuating the island following a 15-megaton nuclear blast at Casa Brava, which is actually the site that Bikini Bottom and SpongeBob takes off in real life called Bikini Atoll. And the blast basically pulverized all the coral reefs on the island, shut everything up in the atmosphere. They came back down, so all the kids went outside and started playing in radioactive coral reef dust, all developing with dwarfism and horrible skin lesions and their hair falling out. And then the mothers who were pregnant on the island started giving birth to jellyfish babies, so that's what was just called for a long time as a conspiracy called jellyfish babies. These babies come in to an assessment and instead of treating these people's ailments, the government decided to put in test subjects. This is called Project 4.1, and it's insane to me. Anyways, I didn't realize about this, especially because it's like SpongeBob was the most popular kids show, and it's based off of the most horrific thing that the U.S. government has done. At least in those
That was the
years.
transfer challenge. You see a time patroller coming. Dope.
Good job, kid. You really cleaned house. Something else is closing in. Hold on. Isn't this...
Packages. This is the second time I've been in the house. Look. Nothing is out of these. All these packages is full. Whatever we deliver, they in the package. It says to the front door. I can't get to the front door. I don't know if somebody's covering us or something. But look, all of this, everything we deliver, look, is still in the box. What the f is going on, man? If I come back here and it's like this again, I'm gonna start to wonder, is it something going on? Like, is somebody covering the up? Is somebody really living in this place? All the packages. I can't even think. I'm gonna take it to the steps like I did before.
Yeah, so
scary spot that you need to pull up.
Krillin, my man.
Yo.
I see somebody's falling out of shape. Is that a challenge? I'm holding back. Talk about good timing.
This reminds me of the World Tournament.
Yeah.
You know about the World Tournament.
I'm not a kid.
Earthlings are indeed a very race. I didn't know there were specimens with 3 eyes. How odd.
Right back at you, Spaceman. So he's the opponent. Watch out. You better not look down on the great Yamcha. You think you're a full-fledged warrior. Don't make me laugh.
By the way, team, how are things with Arch?
Don't ask me. It's complicated.
Hey, Yamcha! In the mood for a fight? No holding back? Why not? I've been training a lot lately. You should probably hold back, though.
All right, not too shabby. Why don't you mosey on back my way?
But if it's like a death like this, bro,
Shawty swing my
Jordan's ass
way.
right then and there, he would have got thrown out the car. You go film it then. You stay here. I don't care who you is. Stay here. We out of here, bro. And I would have took the driver's seat. We would put pedal to the metal. We out of there, bro. Or if he took long like that, and I gave him the chance, when we finally pull off and we get away and we safe, me and him gotta catch the fade, bro. I have to whoop I had to beat bro's ass, bro. I would have to. I would have to. You playing with my life. Play with your own, bro. Don't play with my shit. Choose what you want to do, but don't make decisions for me. That's how I gotta look at it. And then if we, and I don't even know if I want to be his friend or even if we relatives, bro. You a distant relative, like straight up, bro, because you are playing with shit too close, and we supposed to be looking out for each other. You looking out for your best interest, not mine. You not being respectful of what I'm asking you to do right now too. You gotta get your ass whooped, bro. Straight up.
Get up in that. I'm gonna go right here on this road. Yeah, flash towards it. Yeah, gonna go. Eric! Eric, come back there. Got it.
That shit crazy. Every time I fly my drone, it's like hummingbirds run up on me. Shit crazy. Every time, I think the noise. But that was dope. That was dope. That was dope. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta find more clips like that because I see myself watching that shit all the time on YouTube. Let me know y'all thoughts. Let me know y'all opinions. What y'all think? Was it a fire ass rollout? Was it big? What was it? Let me know. I appreciate y'all. If you haven't already, please hype up this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop my uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every single 7. This is for entertainment purposes as well. When you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, helps play to grow, helps play to get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content. Tap in with this content, but I appreciate you watching me TV, whatever the case is. Wish was Smooth 7. Love y'all, play. I'll see y'all in the next one. Y'all know what it is. We gone.
Ay, yeah, I just check my account, at the amount. You probably know what I'm about.
YouTube, this is for educational purposes only. This is for entertainment purposes only. There's nothing is being misled in this video. Yeah, I have to get that out of the way. Right. So there's a new virus out. Well, it's not new, but there's a virus out right now, and it's firing on the internet. It's going crazy. It's getting a lot of attention right now, and people are reacting to it on TikTok. I'm scrolling on TikTok. I'm seeing people react to it, right? And I just go down this rabbit hole and just see people's perspectives on this. Let's check this out.
What the fuck you mean there's an airborne road disease that's killed more people on the cruise ship? They got a 40% death rate. And they trying to figure out what to do. Figure out how to lead their ass out there. That's what you need to figure out. A 40% death rate? Let me help y'all with that decision. Sink that bitch. Sink that bitch. And from what I hear, tickets started at $13K. If you got $13K for a ticket, you can live 2 years on the island. Take that ass to a random island for a couple of years. They can start a stream. They could be the new Gilligan's Island. This is not the time to be bringing back a boat full of people who could possibly be carrying the hantavirus with a 40% death rate that already killed more people. There's too much shit going on in this country. I'm sorry if it's your family members, but this shit is bigger than millions. Say y'all goodbye till they get this shit under control. Hell no. Don't bring them back here. Don't bring their ass back here.
One of the worst things that can ever happen while you're on the cruise is happening right now. You have a cruise ship in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean where there is a hantavirus outbreak. You heard what I just said? There are 149 people stuck on the cruise ship right now, and they can't dock that cruise ship because certain people on that cruise ship are carrying the hantavirus. 6 people have been infected. 3 people died. So this outbreak took place on a boat called the MV Hondias.
It was sailing between Argentina and Cape Verde. You have 2 people on this boat that seriously hit. The virus, again, killed 3 people. You have 1 person who's hospitalized. And that 1 patient that's hospitalized is in critical condition. They're saying this virus, the hantavirus, comes from feces and rodent urine. Mind you, these people are just trying to get off this boat. And they are not letting these people off this boat because they don't want to contaminate another population. Listen to this shit. Listen to this.
On board that we obvious and what's happening right now is very real for all of us here.
This shit is crazy.
We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people. People with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part. All we want right now is to feel safe.
This shit is crazy.
To have clarity.
It's crazy.
And to get...
And this is why I always say you gotta be careful while you're on those waters. Because once you're on those waters, if something happens on those waters, you might not be able to come out of those waters. These people cannot go home right now.
Y'all, they letting them dock in the Canary Islands. There's letting them come ashore.
Greetings.
40% death rate, mind you. Mind you, 7 cases actively right now. 3 people passed, so sorry to them. But y'all letting them come to land?
The people on that ship are zombies. Let's get that clear right now. Everybody come here. That white man sat in his bed and said, these are people we're talking about. We want to get off. I ain't never heard nothing more zombie-like in my life, actually. Y'all done seen enough movies. They can't get off. And just imagine being the captain of the ship. You know how to dock this motherfucker. You can burn a little pocket, actually. Right. You know that everybody on here is just good as a pearl. And they telling you that you can't get off that ship. Just imagine. The only thing the captain might need help with is opening the door. Right? But if they are not heavily armed at the dock, what's stopping them? Real shit. Is there a site? You know, is that a thing? And then I think people need to understand that the waste from the ship is expelled from the ship. So that germ is just marine autobiotics.
Crushed!
Never for real.
Thank you very much.
For real. That's just in the water.
Okay, believe it or not, a lot of people forget to leave a like on the video. It says 78% of you guys watching me on TV. Please, go ahead and drop me a like on the video if you haven't already. And let's get right back to the video.
Huge news. The cruise ship carrying the hantavirus has now been approved to port at St.
Now! Don't you dare get in my way! That's right. You're my own
just got the official news that St. is accepted on Canary Island.
Do you care?
Also,
I understand you're bent on destroying Earth.
to the ship.
That's why I got this out.
Which means
With your power, you can't possibly beat me. I don't know about that.
Come on, Sohan. Give me all you got.
Yeah.
Which is why she's being treated.
You got it, Dad.
Further, that
It seems my power wasn't needed.
Prepare to face the
all around
light
the whereabouts
of
of
the
the
century.
Surprising. You're a lot stronger than I expected.
This is a surprise. You're not that kid anymore.
So now they've got two traits.
Won't lose to you anymore.
And anybody else that's associated with the passed away. And I remember what makes this virus so dangerous is that it does have a 40% mortality rate. 4 out of 10 people. This case is
You'll soon regret underestimating me.
Then hurry up and come at me. No need to hold back.
This has got to be a joke. Be pressured.
But let's address the strain that's on the boat with him, because it's most likely all signs point to the Indy strain. Hantavirus is human to human, not normally hantavirus.
A child of a sailor and an earthling is strong. Show me!
Like that, okay? We'll guess what? There are rats on this cruise ship, right? These are rich folk, y'all. They are not Stuart Little type shit. So how the fuck is this rate strain with 50% mortality rate and they want to go over 150 years protocol? I think somebody got on it. I can't prove it, okay? But number one, they knew the base that this fucking strain originates from. Two, there are no rats on the boat. They searched. Number three, it is spreading from human to human. That is clear, right? Because the wife got sick and died right after the husband did. So they both play with rats? No. Listen, the World Health Organization is advising maximum social distancing for passengers, and they are literally confined to their rooms. My biggest question in all of this, though, is why the hell aren't we hearing from any of them? They don't have Wi-Fi on that boat? Listen, it doesn't matter if they get off that boat.
That's a good question. Actually, is a good question.
And away we go. So you guys, this Dutch cruise ship has a virus outbreak, a virus called hantavirus. And as always, I have questions because I think I've seen this movie before. Here's the rundown. A few people have died from the hantavirus on this cruise ship, including a 70-year-old Dutch man who died on April 11th. Then his wife dies just a few days later in a South African airport when she collapsed. Which, even now, they sent in a hazmat team to evacuate the ship, but I want everybody to be very aware of what's happening because there's some very eerie parallels. Now, what is the hantavirus, you ask? It is a collection of viruses carried by rodents through their feces that is deadly to humans. Now listen up, this part is important. They also state that it causes a severe respiratory illness that has a fatality rate up to 50%. Respiratory illness, huh? You guys remember that one time where that respiratory illness was running rampant in 2020 and a very famous wife and husband caught it to kick everything off? It's just coincidence, right? You mean to tell me another famous couple just last year was involved with the same virus, hantavirus, where Gene Hackman's wife died of the same virus? So the first guy who died on the ship with the hantavirus died on April 11th. That's the same date the Titanic set sail at the point of no return. Now, the World Health Organization is stepping up to respond to the hantavirus because the wife of the guy who died, she dies in a South African airport, but before she took a flight to Johannesburg with 82 other people. Wait, hold up. You mean the same World Health Organization that's mentioned in the Epstein files for preparing for a pandemic states here to an email to Epstein saying, please find a draft agenda for the meeting on preparing for a pandemic as requested. Let's discuss next steps. For example, how to officially involve the WHO and the International Committee of the Red Cross. Best regards, I hope we can pull this off. What? Now, yes, and it's all interesting timing for travel in general. Spirit Airlines went out of business. You have Delta canceling food and drink service, canceling thousands of flights. It's almost like they want us to just stay put. I did a bigger breakdown on YouTube, so make sure you guys go check that out, and let me know what you guys think about all this down below.
Call me a cold-hearted bitch.